Hey guys, it's David coming at you from Organic Price Books with another first look, David's first look at a very exciting title. A lot of people are very excited about this one. It's the JLA Avengers by George Perez. So, you know, if you've heard the hype about it, they're taking out like a new one, right? A new one is coming out.
Oh yeah, so there is a trade coming out by Heroes Initiative, I think.
Right.
Limited edition, only 7,000 copies. So you can wishlist it and see if we get some, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of allocations. That's why we didn't set pre-orders.
Yeah. But this is the, I guess they released this before. This is the, it's an absolute, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's a slipcase, so they didn't make absolutes before, so it's just going to be called a slipcase.
Yeah.
I think it's by George Perez and wasn't it Kurt Busiek?
Yeah,
okay,
Kurt
cool.
Busiek. But yeah, so we're gonna review it. I took it home, I reviewed it, so we're actually also gonna have this one in the Whatnot auction, if I believe.
Yeah, Whatnot auction this upcoming Sunday.
This Sunday. Let's take a look what else is gonna be there this Sunday. Let's take a look. All right, let's take a knee. Look at this. Look at these wonderful, amazing out-of-print books that we're gonna have. We're gonna have this lot right here of Dawn of X, House of X, the Punisher lot, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Thor, Captain America. Look at these, all of these out of print. They're going to be up in the Whatnot. Okay, and then of course this one, which we are very excited for. Now, this is one of the Justice League Avengers events that they had. They had another one where it was Justice League versus Avengers. This one they kind of work together, but they do fight each other as well. Now, I had read the other one, and I like that one because that one led into the analogram. Anyway, wherever they mixed like superheroes together, like Wolverine and Batman, Dark Claw, they had Superboy and Spider-Man mixed together, Captain America and Superman. So that was an event that led up to this. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's before and after. So I'll tell you a little bit of that one. Let's take a look at the slipcase. The front, of course, the spine, and the back. Okay. Ooh, let's see here. So this is the compendium that goes with it, and then this is the actual story itself. So let's take a look at the story, and I'll show you this afterwards.
I think the compendium was like a bunch of issues or pages that weren't officially released, whatever.
Yes,
so
correct.
They didn't put it inside that compendium.
Yes. Okay. So then, as you can see, it shows like all their faces here, and then here it has like a actual pic drawing of the characters. And let's take a look underneath. Oh, this is very nice. I like this. So guys, again, if whoever wins this, I was very careful with it. You know, I made sure to treat it with the respect that it deserves, you know, just like I treat my ladies with the respect that they deserve.
Ladies.
Ladies.
With an S.
Ladies.
Oh no.
All right. So yes, so this is a really interesting story. It includes all of them, really almost all of the characters from each of the teams. When I was reading it, George Perez said he wanted to include every single person that has been an Avenger and a Justice League member. So there is a lot of characters in this. The spreads are really cool because you get to see some fights that you would think of, obviously Thor and Superman, because they're probably the strongest in their general universes, except for Hulk. But he's not in this comic a lot. Like I said, in the other JLA verses, they talk about that in the compendium. It actually has whenever Hulk and Superman fought. So, if you haven't read this story, there's going to be a lot of spoilers, okay? Because I actually took notes on this and I went through all of it. And so, if you haven't read it and you don't want me to spoil it, then I would suggest go, I don't know, walk your dog or something, or watch Euphoria or something. Okay, so in the story. It's very interesting because from what I was reading in the compendium, George Perez actually drew this like back in like the early 70s or 80s, and then like he due to some conflict with the two companies, he kind of just had it postponed. He had the drawings, he sold the drawings, and then when they finally said let's do it, he had to go, and they actually had to go buy them back or look for the people who had it so that they could use that for this. Okay, so as you can see here, it starts off with this universe here where the Cordians are, which is technically the negative zone of the, if I'm not mistaken, the negative the anti-universe of the Marvel universe getting destroyed here. Oh no. And then over here, the same thing with the anti-universe for DC, where the what are they called? The Crime Syndicate, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe the Crime Syndicate, which is just basically the evil aspects of the Justice League are. So you got Ultraman and I forgot their names. Hey, I forgot their names, but that's okay. Like the evil Superman or Super Batman. So their universe also gets destroyed, and then you see here the universe character from or Eternity, if I'm not mistaken, from Marvel. And then you see the Grandmaster, who gets attacked by this character, which is named Cronus. Corona? His name is Krona, yes, Krona. So basically, if you know anything about Krona, he is a DC character who wanted to see what was at the beginning of the universe. And so he traveled back in time, and then because of that, they stopped him, yada yada yada. So then it starts off with the Justice League fighting Terminal. And the colors here, guys, the colors on this is amazing. If you can see it, obviously you can see it, but to actually have it here, like the purples, the costume of each character, it really pops. George Perez, of course, is the artist for this, and man, it looks really, really cool. It looks really good. I'm actually this is not my favorite style of the drawings of them, but for what it is, it's really good. Okay, so basically they attack this creature and they destroy it, but they're like, the Spectre shows up and like he says, hey, this guy isn't from your universe. He's basically from another dimension or another universe, and you need to find out what that is. So then then it switches over to the Avengers fighting Starro. As you know, Starro is a character from DC. So they're dealing with this threat, and they manage to basically, so he just basically wants to take over and control everybody and have it organized. So they basically have Wanda use her chaos magic, since her magic is all about disorder and chaos. She takes over one of the Starros and kind of gives him a little taste of that. Whew, he flies away. He's like, nope, not today. Bye, Felicia, gone. So then they're like, oh, we never fought a character like this. And then I believe this is, who is this? This is Quasar. Okay, yeah. So Quasar's like, hey, these guys are from a different universe. As you can see here, Lobo is attacking in their universe. And then some other characters here. And they're like, there's a threat to your universe from a different universe. Okay, so what they do here, Flash has a piece of Terminus, and he's like, I'm gonna vibrate to his frequency, his universe. Now this is Wally West, okay, not Barry Allen. So Wally West, it's like, I'm gonna vibrate to that universe and travel there, and he does. He manages to land in that town. Then he sees, these people attacking a mutant, and as you know from Marvel, but for regular humans, they consider mutants as freaks, and they try to kill them, basically. So in the DC universe, they kind of accept people with powers, and they definitely treat them better. So he's like, why are you guys treating him like that? And they're all like, oh, you have superpowers too. But Barry lost his speed. Oh no! So then here, we see that he gets back, and look, he's all beat up because the people were beating him up. And he's like, that world is very chaotic. And then look who shows up at the Justice League Tower. It's Uatu. So of course, as you know, Uatu is from Marvel. He's crossing over into the DC universe. And they're like, okay, what's going on? And then the Grandmaster's like, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. They try to capture him, of course, with the willpower cage. And he basically tells them what's going on, that they need to basically get 6 of the power items, basically. Now, if you know all of them, good for you. I don't know all of them. The Infinity Stones, of course. You got the Cosmic Cube, the Green Lantern, the Power Lantern, basically. Let's see what else that I know of. They tell you all of them there. Those are the ones I know of. And for the ultimate nullifier, I know that one, of course. So he says basically you have to get them before the other universe gets them, or they're going to destroy your universe. So he doesn't give too much about what's going on. He just tells them, hey, you have to get these things so that you can stop the other universe from invading. So then they're like, okay, and then he's like, Owatsu's just going to watch. You know, he likes to watch the action but not participate, if you know what I mean. Woo! Okay. And then on the others, in the Marvel universe, they're like, oh, we have to set it up so that if anybody from that universe shows up, then we're gonna know where they're coming from. And of course, they travel over there. Oh, and then so Flash basically says, I can't go over there to the Marvel universe because there's no Speed Force there, so I lose my speed. So all I can do is send you over using my vibration powers, and you have to take it over from there. So they're like, okay, cool. So they do that. They travel there, and of course they kind of see the differences in the universes. They're like, they split up here, and like Aquaman and Green Lantern. This is Kyle Rayner, not Hal Jordan. He's like, oh look, like they see like Latveria, Genosha, which is where the mutants were. They got bombed. They see, of course, like the Hulk destroying cities, and they're all like, oh, we need to like intervene. And Batman's like, nope, you can't. This is not what we're trying to do. We're just here to look for these items. And of course, he sees the Punisher, so he of course goes in there and decides to beat up the Punisher. So that's do what I tell you, do as I say, not as I do. So then basically they go after the first item, and they go to this island with big giant monsters. And while they're fighting there, of course, they are about to get the ultimate nullifier here. And this is actually pretty cool. When the Martian Manhunter scans this, it basically says it alone could destroy entire universes. So the ultimate nullifier, if you know, was created by Reed Richards to fight Galactus. Just having the item and the threat of using it was enough for Galactus to basically leave our planet or leave Earth alone, so it wouldn't get eaten. And as they're about to basically take it, of course, the Avengers show up, and as you see here, they kind of fight. And they're trying to get the item. So basically, as soon as one of the team fully gets it, like as soon as they have it secure, then they get the item. So as you'll see here, let's take a look. They got it for sure. So then they get like teleported, right? And they go back to their universe. And then while they go back like into the cave, they see Metatron. Metron, it's from the DC universe, and he's kind of in the same universe or the same area like Apocalypse and all that. So he's there to watch, and he kind of tells them the same thing that the Collector told the Justice League, which basically you have to collect the powers of item, or if not, the other team is going to destroy the universe. So they kind of tell them what they need to do, but they don't tell them why. And then you see the Atom here, he's kind of like hiding. So the Atom is from the Justice League. He decides to go and sneak on board with Metron. So then at this point they're like, okay, well, we have to go ahead and attack and get the stuff that we need from there. So they decide to, as you see here, go into the Justice League or the DC universe. And when they show up, they kind of look at the world there. And basically, as you can see, they're like, wow, here superheroes are revered. Like, they have museums for them, they have statues of them, they basically are celebrities. All the superheroes are looked up to by the people, and while in the DC in the Marvel universe, they're not. Heroes are kind of like, I don't want to say feared, but they're like, you're kind of suspicious of them. For example, the mutants. Because they're mutants, humans don't like them, even though they're there to protect them and to save the world. People still don't like the mutants. While in the Justice or in DC universe, when you see a hero, they cheer for them. They, like I said, have museums, statues. They have shirts of them. So then, Justice League shows up there. It'll be like, hey, you know, you got to stop. You're under arrest. And then, of course, fighting ensues. Boom, Superman gets hit with the hammer of Thor. He thought he could stop it. Nope. Obviously, it's magic. And then Superman is, of course, weak to magic. So then they fight. And as you can see here, Metatron and the Grandmaster, why did I call him the Collector? The Grandmaster are like talking about what's going on about it. And then we have this huge spread of them fighting, which is really cool. Ooh, I am taking my time. Anyway, so kind of gives you a little backstory on Cronus. And basically, like I said, he wanted to see the birth of the universe, and when he got there, he saw a big giant hand. So he's like, who is that? We have to find out who that is. His people were like, no, we don't. Listen, you need to like slow down. So they imprisoned him, and they basically, they didn't kill him. What they said is, we're going to just make you into energy of the universe where you can never do any harm. But of course, he started collecting more power, and he wanted to see what created the universes, basically. So he went around destroying universes, but you know, with destroying the universes, he never really saw them being reborn because he hadn't come across anybody who could do that. And then this is, of course, the universe for DC. I guess, I don't know what they call her, but she's like their universe. So then, as you saw in the beginning, he was destroying universes, trying to find the answer. He gets to the Marvel universe, and then that's when the Grandmaster's like, look, you know, I know somebody who has been there for the beginning of a universe, but I'll only tell you that if you win this game. And then Cronus is like, all right, I'll go ahead and play your game. So that's why there's this game of basically the heroes who can capture the items first, basically determining the fate of the universe. Okay, so everybody here is fighting. Pew, 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 pow, 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 boom, boom, boom. And I like this, really cool. So they basically, Captain America and Batman fight, and they're kind of just testing each other out. And then Batman is like, it's conceivable you could beat me, but it would take a long time. So how about instead of doing that, let's work together and find out who's, you know, behind all this. And then they decided to do that. So I like how Captain America's like, you know what, you're right, boom. So he knows strategically that somebody's behind this, so they have to find out what's going on. Now, with Wanda, when she traveled over to the DC universe, she notices that their magic is a lot stronger than in the Marvel universe. So she taps into that, and basically, like, she gets a power up. Let's take a look. So she kind of sent everybody back to their own universe to protect them. And basically they start hunting for the items, and then let's take a look. So as you can see over here, one of the items, of course, was the power gauntlet, and the team over here gets it. The Avengers get it. So it'll tell you, it's pretty funny because look, whenever they capture an item, the Grandmaster will keep the score. So the Justice League had captured the Ultimate Nullifier, that's 1, and then the Avengers captured the Green Lantern, and it was 1-1. They go to Asgard, and here, let's take a look. Wonder Woman versus Hercules, a good matchup. Aquaman versus She-Hulk, okay. I would have thought no more, but you know what? I didn't write the book. Let's see here. Let's see where they capture this one. Justice League takes another one, so 2-1. They capture another one here, 3-1. The Flash or Quicksilver gets this one, so 3-2. And it's cool because it tells you like they're keeping score and they're talking at the bottom, like commentary basically about the matches. And Batman and Superman follow the traces to Metatron, and basically it shows you that Galactus is the person who basically can give the answers to Cronus about the restart of a universe, because if you didn't know that, his universe, whenever it ended, they sent somebody at the exact moment that the world ended to be there at the beginning of the next one, and that's how he became Galactus. That's really cool. I didn't know that about Galactus. So then Captain America says we need help from the Fantastic Four to basically travel the dimensions or travel through time to get that. And then Wanda's been just getting more powerful, but it's also like consuming her. So then her counterpart is, of course, Satana, as you can see here. And they're trying to stop them, of course. So let's take a look. Anyway, I would, yeah, look, so 4-3, I would say 4-2 Justice League, then 4-3 Avengers, and it has a lot of cameos, like you see Captain America, you see Black Panther, you see the Wasp, Goliath, Martian Manhunter, so it includes all of them at this point. This is actually really cool, where the Flash is like, hey, you know, I know, you know, he kind of rubs it in his face that he is faster than Quicksilver. And he runs backwards and splashes him and makes him drop, you know, stop running and takes the items. So they're 5-4. Ooh. I'm good. So then finally Captain America and Batman get to the Grandmaster's basically like base. And they see that basically what's going on, that he's playing a game. And they kind of see the interaction between Kronos and the Grandmaster. And this is really cool. So they go after the last item, which is of course the Infinity Gauntlet. And who's holding it but Darkseid. And he tries to use it, but since it's not his universe, he can't really use it because, of course, he's in the DC universe and not in the Marvel universes. So he throws it at them to fight. He's like, I don't need this piece of junk. And he does his Omega beams. And who captures it? Oh, yeah. So the Avengers or the Flash gets it. So basically the Avengers win. And then the last item that they need is the Cosmic Cube. As you see here, everybody shows up to fight.
You mean the Justice League win?
Yeah, Justice League wins. Ooh. Okay, so then the Cosmic Cube is the last thing. They're all there. They all start to fight. The spreads on this are really cool. Like I said, they really used a lot of the colors for them. It looks really cool. It pops really well. You don't get any gutter loss. And then as you can see, everybody's using all of their powers. Green Lantern, Aquaman, the Flash, Quicksilver, Wonder Woman, Iron Man. Here, the Flash basically gets beat by Quicksilver because they're fighting here in the Marvel universes, and he found I think it was Martian Manhunter that made a backpack for him to use that could store the Speed Force, but he was already slowing down. And just as they're about to get it all together, basically Batman stops. You see here the Quicksilver was about to get it, and Captain America stops him and gives the cube to Batman so that they win. So basically, Grandmaster was betting on the Justice League winning over the Avengers to beat Krona, and then he was like, look there, I won. And Kronos, of course, since he's a sore loser, he's like, no, I'm still gonna find the answer, and he basically kills the Grandmaster. And he gets the information. He basically, once he kills them, I guess he absorbs their knowledge, and he realizes that Galactus is the being that he's trying to get to. So he summons him, and they kind of fight, but it's not really a fight because Kronos, I guess, almost obliterates him. And then just as they're about to, I guess Kronos is about to find that out, Grandmaster was like, I grabbed all the items so that I could use all their powers to stop you, and then poof, it blinks out. This is a really cool spread with everybody that's in here. So that's actually really, really cool. And from what I was reading, this actually includes all of the characters and all of the Avengers and all of the Justice League members that have been part of it at the time. So this is a huge spread. I think there's from what I was reading, 140 characters or more, something like that. Okay, so then it jumps. And we see here Dr. Doom on the what is this called? The wall from man, you know the wall that holds the edge of the universe. So Dr. Doom is there, and then everybody they're fighting together. Looks like Black Canary is kissing Hawkeye. So you kind of like, it jumps and you're kind of like, what's going on? And then you see here, like they're all talking about that, and then something happens and they forget that the Hawkeye was there. So he disappears. So they're kind of like, what is going on here? So basically, as the story continues, it looks like the two worlds are colliding. And you see here, for example, the Avengers beating up the Justice League, or sorry, beating up Brainiac, and they're all there together, and they're talking about it, and then there's like a shift, you see here, and then like it's a different, something happened, something changed, and Captain America notices, he's like, what's going on? There's something going on. So look here. All the heroes are together, they're celebrating, or like, oh, we do this all the time. We cross universes to help each other out. And Captain America's like, this is really weird, like what's going on? And then Superman, of course, he's also saying like, this is not regular, like something's going on, it's bothering me, but he can't put his finger on it. And then as the story goes, basically they start to realize that something is going on, and basically you see here how like there's different, they're like, oh, we fought this threat and we fought this threat. And they're like, we don't remember any of that. Like, none of this is, Captain America and Superman are like, I don't remember any of this. Like, they're the ones who are like, something is wrong. And they start to notice that the universes are like crisscrossing and like breaking apart, as you can see here. Basically, it's creating the universes to crumble together, but they don't understand why. So like on this one, there's some heroes like with the Avengers, and then some heroes like Thor, like is the one with the beard. And then it's Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, instead of Kyle Rayner. And it's Barry Allen, Flash, instead of Wally West. And Superman's like, I know that he's dead, because at that point, of course, Barry Allen had given his life for the Speed Force to stop the Anti-Monitor. And Hal Jordan had become the Spectre, so he couldn't have been the Green Lantern at the time. So he notices that. And then obviously Captain America's like, some of these characters, some of the Avengers are not in the right timeline. So as they're trying to figure that out, they realize that Kronos is kind of manipulating that again as energy, so they have to stop him. So as you see here, Superman and Iron Man go up to figure out what's going on, and they see here basically this, which is two hands, which is Kronos basically trying to combine the universes together. And it's disrupting all of the cities, and since they aren't matching up exactly, because Marvel is supposedly a little bit smaller, the world is really smaller compared to DC. It's causing the earthquakes and the weather to be affected, and the characters to jump back and forth. So they say, okay, we have to stop it, and they basically join together. And the Phantom Stranger basically comes in and is like, hey, this is what's going on, I need you guys to follow me. And he takes them to the Grandmaster, who is still barely alive, and he basically tells them what's going on about Kronos trying to find the beginning of the universes. So to stop him, he played the game, but of course Kronos cheated. So what he did is he used the powers to try to combine the universes together and bind him in between both of those worlds. But he survived that, and now he's trying to basically destroy both of them by completing the binding. And then he shows them all basically what the correct timeline is. And you see the huge events for both sides. Lex Luthor becoming president. You see Superman dying. You see Captain America fighting his, if you know about the Captain America stories, like the evil Captain America. You see, of course, Ultron. You see like the Justice League and the Teen Titans, the different Green Lanterns, the death of Superman. And it kind of breaks it down for all of them to see it. If you know about Avengers, then of course you see where Hank Pym basically hits the Wasp, and that whole, domestic abuse that happened with them, and it kind of broke them up. You see when Aquaman loses his hand, but he still has his hand, and he's like, oh my gosh, I don't remember that. The Wanda and the Vision and their children, and how I think they got killed, and they don't remember that. The Flash with Barry Allen dying. Let's see. Batman with I believe the death of Jason Todd, as well as Bane breaking his back when Hal Jordan killed the Green Lanterns and became the Spectre. So he kind of shows them this is the universes that should be, and that's why you guys, it feels like you're jumping and you're not in sync, is because he tried to combine the universes to be one coherent story, but it wasn't working. So then they're like, you have to reset it as it should be, but just know that some of you are going to die. So they're like, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to work together. This is a really cool spread. So they basically decide they're going to attack Kronos in his base, and they decide to team up. And as you can see here, it kind of just shows the other heroes defending the cities. So then they decide to build a ship to go to attack Kronos, and all of the superheroes are working together. This is really cool because each of them are complementing their different aspects. So they're using like an Atlantean ship, but they're using the Vision's how he can basically control technology to make instantaneous actions with the ship. And then of course Hal Jordan is going to power it with his Green Lantern, since his battery can power a city for like a year. So it's really cool how they all interact with each other and kind of complement each other and talk about different things. That was really cool. I like that a lot. So they travel to where Cronus is, and it's basically he's using the body of Galactus as his base. So they go and attack it, and Cronus grabs a bunch of the bad guys from both universes to attack them or to stop them. And you see here they go and they attack. But what happens is, as they're attacking, basically there's these waves that are passing by of time distortion, and as it does, basically the heroes that are there switch. So for example, let's take a look. I'm going to show you. It's actually really cool. Like in one of them, Batman is fighting, and then he switches from the gray and black Batman to the Batman with the blue and the yellow. So it just switches out, and the people they're fighting with and against switch out like all the time. So it's really confusing for them. But they basically look like the long-haired Superman, and then they get the electric Superman. The different Hal Jordans, as you see here. There's the regular Hal Jordan, there's Parallax, there's the Spectre Hal Jordan. So it's like switching between all of them repeatedly, and that's where you kind of see every single superhero. That's where George Perez wanted to include that. So as they're fighting, you see all of those characters in here. It switches between them repeatedly and constantly. So they basically get to the very end. Let me just go to that real quick. So you see they bring up all the bad guys and all the heroes that have been part of the Justice League and Avengers history. That's really cool. So basically Captain America gives his shield to Superman and says, you could use it more than I can, because basically you're Superman. So imagine Superman using the shield. Like, that's really cool. And then Thor is about to be killed, so he throws the hammer to Superman, and he's like, you're worthy enough to use it. And basically once he captures it, you have this really cool picture of Superman with basically the Thor's hammer and Captain America's shield, and he uses that to break the final defense for Cronus. And just as he's about to do it, Cronus basically kills all the heroes. And just as he's about to win and destroy both universes, Barry Allen shows up with Hawkeye, who had disappeared earlier, if you remember, and they managed to break the console that he was using. And with that, the Spectre is actually able to go. Hal Jordan, as the Spectre, is able to separate the universes. And with the separation, the teams have to separate, of course. They kind of say their goodbyes, and you see the universes like separating, and that is basically how it ends. And then it shows like this egg with Metron basically looking after it, which is really cool. So then that's kind of how it ends with this part. So the story, if you've read this one, if I got anything wrong, please correct me. But it's really cool because it goes through all those heroes. And if you've read the other Justice League versus Avengers, where they basically fight each other, that created the universe, the Almagram universes. And with that one, I actually like that story better than this one. But the compendium, let me show you that real quick. Oh, let me look at this. This is cool. So it's basically like the drawing of the characters, as you see there, and so it matches with the actual graphic novel. So basically, this kind of tells you the story of how this story happened and why it almost didn't happen. So it gives you a little bit of like an extra reading of it, but basically the rest is almost just kind of the telling of the story of how this Justice League versus Avengers, or Justice League and Avengers crossover happened, and how it almost didn't happen, because there was a lot of back and forth between the companies, and for a while George Perez had drawn like concepts for it, but it wasn't used. Like this is that you see here was basically how it was supposed to be, how they came together, and it was going to be Kang the Conqueror and another super or villain from DC called Lord of Time. And originally it didn't work because of that, so they had to rewrite it. But this is them basically getting all the pages so that you can see where it was originally going to be like, or what it was going to be like. So that's really, really interesting. It kind of just gives you an in-depth look at how much goes into the storyboard, and how much, especially for an event like this where you have to get all these characters from two universes for them to both agree to be like, yeah, you know what, let's do this. Because some universes are like, let's say for example, Batman doesn't want to be, the writers for Batman are like, no, he can't be doing this or that. So they have to agree upon it. So the rest of it is kind of like the storytelling about what happened next, and how the process of it took between getting writers together, meeting at conventions, buying the artwork that had been sold for the first one. And look, let me show you real quick. Let's see here where it shows the one for let me see. It gives you a picture of the other events that happened as well. So let's see, let me find it real quick. Okay, it's before this. Okay, so this is some of the other events that have happened before. So you got like the crossover classics, where it's like individual characters like Batman versus Punisher, stuff like that, and it shows where they're collected. And then as you see here, for example, this is the Versus one that I'm more aware of. I had never read the story, so this is the one I had read before, and I really liked that one as well, which led to the combining of the universes for a little bit. And it tells you, their matchup, like Superman versus the Hulk, and Superman wins. Batman versus Captain America, Batman wins. So this gives you a breakdown of the previous events that had happened before, and why this one took so long to finally come out. And it breaks down all the characters that are in it, and it tells you exactly what page each character shows up in, and the different costumes that they had. So this compendium gives you a lot of that background information you might want to know. So like, it tells you that Iron Man shows up with like 10 different costumes. That's crazy. That's actually one of the reasons why I decided to wear my Captain America shirt. Let me have JP show you this. Sorry, Iron Man shirt. Iron Man shows up with like 10 different costumes. Look at this. This is cool, right? I like it. I've had this for a couple of years. I don't like Iron Man per se, but this shirt was too cool to pass up, so that's why I decided to wear it. And I'm wearing my Iron Man glasses. Look at that. Isn't it cool? But I'm also wearing the Superman colors.
Now we need an Iron Man book to come out so we could do a review of Iron Man with this outfit.
There you go. But I'm also wearing my Superman colors. You see my blue and the red, and then the red hat. So I got to represent a little bit of both. But yeah, this was a really interesting story, guys. Whoever wins this is going to get a great read. If you never read it, I would highly recommend it. You get to see basically your favorite characters from both worlds together, fighting against each other and together. The story was really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I prefer the other stories, the Anagram, whatever. That one, if you know what I'm talking about, it's where the two brothers are basically two universes that are fighting. I like that one better. But this was a cool story. The artwork is amazing. George Perez does some outstanding work here, and you can definitely see that he put a lot of work into it to get this taken care, or to get this out to you guys. So, are we ever gonna get another crossover? I really hope so. Can you imagine if Jim Lee drew that, bro? Oh my God, I would love that. But especially now with the movies and all that, it gets harder and harder. But a guy can dream, right? And if not, you always have this to read while you wait for that. So come for the Whatnot this Sunday, guys. Whoever wins this, like I said, you're gonna get a lot of love because I read this lovingly. And I'll see you guys on the next one.